Ladies and gentlemen, Vladimir Putin was not at the BRICS summit, but he did give a speech. And that's what I'm going to go over in this video. So he said that, they're gaining momentum. Vladimir Putin says U.S. de-dollarization is irreversible in remote BRICS summit address. Here's what it could mean for the future of the greenback. So the US dollar has reigned supreme over the global economy for close to a century, but efforts to dethrone it are gaining momentum, says the Russian president, Vladimir Putin. Putin called the dollar drop in dominance objective and irreversible in an address at the 15th BRICS summit in Johannesburg via video link on Tuesday. He also said five BRICS members, Russia, China, India, Brazil, and South Africa, which are home to more than 40% of the world's population, are growing into global economic superpowers that could rival and maybe even overtake the G7. According to the World Bank, BRICS members share a global GDP which grew from 18% in 2010 to 26% in 2021. The increases all years during the period, China leading the way with over 70% of BRICS GDP in 2021. But it will be enough to displace the greenback. Here's more on how these emerging economies are seeking to reduce the reliance on the dollar and how American officials are feeling about it. Now, they're trying to play nonchalant in this country like, this is not going to affect us that much. They're lying. They're lying, y'all. You know, and I guess they feel like they have to lie to the public to keep people from panicking. You know, just keep your eye on this because they're going to be making some critical moves in the next few months. So, Putin claims that over the past decade, mutual investments and transactions between BRICS countries have increased sixfold, thanks partly to BRICS members' mutual respect for each other's interests. The United Nations BRICS Investment Report 2023 states that BRICS economies represent 18% of global exports, with their share continuing to increase, while the growth rate of intra BRICS exports have exceeded the global average. Now, according to what I read in a previous article, it says that BRICS nations actually have 40% of the global GDP. So that's pretty significant. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So when addressing bloc leaders in South Africa, Putin asked for continued collaboration with BRICS members. During the summit, we shall discuss in detail the entire range of issues related to the transition to national currencies in all areas of economic cooperation between our five nations. The Russian president took the opportunity to slam what he believes are illegitimate sanctions laid down by the United States and other Western economic powers in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the unlawful freezing of sovereign state assets, which he said seriously weighs on the international economic situation. In an effort to reduce transaction costs, limit their exposure to global vitality and geopolitical risk, and boost the local economies. Members of BRICS and their allies have begun settling trades in their local currency instead of US dollars. And you know what? I think they've been doing that for quite some time. I don't think this thing with India buying a million barrels of oil with rupees instead of dollars. I don't think this is new. I think they've been doing a lot of these transactions behind the scenes. Just last week, India announced its leading petroleum refiner, Indian Oil Corp, used local rupees to buy 1 million barrels of oil from, they bought this oil from a national oil company, and it's part of a bilateral trading agreement between two countries. Despite more of these no dollar transactions taking place with the assistance of the BRICS New Development Bank, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen still believes that no currency currently exists that could displace the greenback. Mm-mm-mm. So the dollar dominance in global trade and capital flows date back to at least 80 years, not just because the US is the world's biggest economy, but also because oil and other essential commodities are priced in the greenback. We should expect over time a gradual increase shares of other assets in reserve holdings of countries, a natural desire to diversify, said Yellen. But the dollar is far and away the dominant reserve asset. Yeah, well, that's not what BRICS is. BRICS say they gonna take you out of that spot. That's what they're saying. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, so that is what he said. I knew there had to be a transcript, and there are transcripts online that go into other things that Putin said. So, it's interesting just to see where this whole thing is going and how these people are going to proceed going into the future. And you can best believe they planned all of this out in that meeting. They know exactly what direction they're going to go in and how they're going to start using the dollar less and less, which I believe many of these nations have already started doing that. Because, whenever you hear about they intend on not using the dollar, they probably been start doing that probably even a year or two ago. They're not just saying it. I think they're saying it now and they're trying to imply in the media, well, this is what they're going to do, but they haven't done this yet. I think they have, you know, and I think they're not going to tell America every move they make. They're not going to do that. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video and what Putin said. He said that when they start their quest to not use the US dollar, what they're going to do is going to be irreversible. Do you believe what he says is correct? Let me know in the comment section. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.